guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Katie if you don't know, and this is a bittersweet video because this is the last ever college classes as an education major video I'm ever going to post because this is my last semester and I'm graduating, or I guess I'm about to graduate, or I've graduated. I don't know, this time is strange, but I'm done. I'm done with my education major. So I've done 3 of these videos so far, and I'll make sure to link the other 3 in a playlist below because you really seem to enjoy these videos and like getting insight into what the actual classes you're going to take if you want to be an education major are. So I'm taking 5 classes and my school's on a semester. I go to school in California, and I think that's all you need to know. Without further ado, I'm going to share my 5 classes I'm taking the spring semester of my senior year as an education major. So I'm taking both major specific courses, but also some GEs that I had to finish up. I'll share them all with you, but I'll start with major specific courses because those are the most fun. So the first class that I'm taking is called Senior Seminar, and this is a requirement for all seniors at my school, but each program does their own individual senior seminar class. So in my class are all the seniors in the liberal studies teacher prep program at my school. Essentially what the class is trying to do is to prepare you for the next step, which is a teaching credential, because this program is directly setting up for a teaching credential. Now, even though I don't want to get my credential anymore, and if you didn't know that, definitely check out my last video because I updated you on my career and what the heck I'm going to do with my life after this. Even if you don't want a credential, this class is still really helpful because it's giving you hands-on experience again, which is what a lot of your major specific courses will give you. So this was a once-a-week class, and we were tutoring kids in math, and we had to select one student to do a case study on. So we were to analyze what they needed help with, develop an activity to help them, and essentially write a whole lesson plan for that student and how you could help them. Obviously got cut short, like the actual tutoring, because of the global pandemic and we all couldn't be in school or anything, and that was really surreal because I didn't even get to say bye to my 3 kids, which was really weird. So we tutored kids from 1st grade all the way to 5th grade, and I got placed in 1st grade. So while we were also tutoring, we were reading a textbook and we were talking about lesson planning, and just basically my teacher was preparing us all for a credential the next year. And she was giving us insight into that process. And it was really a class that was to set you up for success in a credential program. But even though I'm not doing the program, it still was really beneficial, and I loved the class. The second class I took this semester was World Geography, and this is major specific. There is geography on the C set, so this class essentially was supposed to prepare you for that. My teacher was a little, how do I describe it? Not really on topic. I felt a little bit more like I learned about every country in the world versus where they were on the map. I just learned about them, but it was still an interesting class, and you are going to need it if you're going to take the CSAT to become a teacher. So my third class is advanced writing, and this was my upper division writing units, and this was an amazing class because for once I got to choose the topic that I was writing on all throughout the semester. So we had 3 papers, and each paper got increasingly longer, and then this last research paper that we're working on is 10 pages. And so it's just been so amazing because I actually got to choose something I'm so interested in. And so my research paper is coming along so nicely, and I've never actually wanted to write a paper more. Like, it feels like a fun project, and which I know sounds wild, but when you actually get to do things you're interested in school, then it totally makes a difference, and it's so fun. So I learned a lot about writing in that class. I definitely felt like I was already a pretty strong writer going into that class. It's one of my favorite things to do in school, writing papers. I've actually wanted to make videos on writing papers on my channel, but I didn't know if that would be helpful to anyone. But I have so many tips and so many strategies for writing papers, and specifically research papers. So if you guys are ever interested in that, I don't know if that'd be helpful at all, but I'd love to do writing like tutorials, or I don't know, just writing videos, because I really love to write. So that was my third class, and I really enjoyed that class. My fourth class was World History, which is a GE, and I really put it off till my senior year at the very end because I really don't like World History. I love US history, but World History bores me a little. But my teacher was really good. She made it really interesting. My favorite part about that class, honestly, was the way that my teacher taught it, and the like aura my teacher had. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Ever since I wanted to be a teacher or really wanted to be in education or like in front of the classroom, I've always done this thing where I will focus more on how a teacher teaches versus what they're teaching, which I know is not always the best. But she taught so well and very, she just kind of made the students care. Like she made it a requirement that you cared because she cared. And that was honestly my favorite part of the class. And I actually did learn way more about world history than I had ever learned before. And I honestly think it was because of her attitude towards the class and the attitude that she brought out in her students. So I actually really enjoyed that class. It was just like your average world history, and I needed it for GEs. So then my last class I actually did not take at my college. I took it at a community college, and that is sign language. So I'm in sign language 2 right now, and that is my language requirement for college. And so a sign language is pretty self-explanatory. I'm just learning American Sign Language. But I wanted to tell you guys this as a tip because I regret this so much. Like so much. So this is true for almost all high schools to colleges in the US. I'm pretty sure. If anyone has any different experiences, definitely leave it down below so I'm not saying false information. But if you do 3 years of a language in high school, then your college language requirement is waived. So I ended up actually only doing 2 in high school because that was like the minimum. They recommended you do 3 so that you wouldn't have to take it in college, but I didn't really know that at the time. So I ended up only taking 2 years, and then you have to then take 2 semesters of a language in college, which isn't terrible, but I am really not the best at learning languages. I have dyslexia. I forget if I've ever talked about that on this channel. I'd love to talk about that more if you guys would be interested. But I have dyslexia. It's pretty mild, but especially when learning foreign languages, it is like so hard for my brain. Like I just feel my brain working and it just like can't get it. And so ASL is probably the easiest for me. But again, it's still difficult, but I've just literally put it off until this now semester. I could have taken it so many other times, but I just didn't want to. So that is why I'm having that stuck now. This is kind of a theme of all my last semester senior classes. It's all the classes that I didn't want to take throughout college. Putting them off didn't harm me a ton. I do have one more class I need to take this summer just for 3 units. It literally can be anything. I just need 3 more units so that I can graduate. And again, I could have taken that this semester, but my schedule was insane, so I literally could not. But now that we're sitting at home all day, every day, I would have totally been able to have another class, but I wouldn't have predicted that in January. My last classes of college, besides that one that I mentioned before, I've absolutely loved being an education major. It was amazing and I love my school so much. But I'm just really happy that you guys still want to be along for the journey and watch me grow and transition into my career. Other than that, I really hope you guys have a great day or night. You're not going crazy in quarantine. I also have some quarantine video ideas, so I will hopefully get some of those out for you too. And I will see you in my next video. Bye guys. I had way too much coffee before this and my heart is really racing. I feel like that TikTok where it goes, you know, that's what my heart feels like. That was embarrassing. No, scratch that. It was a really easy read about how, okay, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I didn't read the whole thing, so I can't tell you what it's about. So I'm not gonna tell you what it's about. I felt like I just learned like a ton about every country in the United States. No. That's called too much caffeine, kids. Where's my coffee anyways? No, you're not supposed to have it. Wait, actually, where is it though? Oh, it's right there. Okay.